Hey guys, I'm Adam Haig from 3D Games, and in this video I'll show you how to paint up some Mordor Orcs to look awesome on the tabletop. If you appreciate this content, please take the time to hit subscribe and hit the bell so that you can keep up to date with my weekly releases. After priming with black, I base coated the cloth skirt with Khorn Red. It is best to do this with a couple of thin coats to ensure a nice solid colour. This is then layered with Mephiston Red, applied to the raised sections of cloth, followed by a highlight of Evil Sunz Scarlet. Depending on how much time you want to spend, you could then add very fine highlights with Troll Slayer Orange onto the most raised sections. The leather areas were base coated with a 50-50 black and Rhinox Hide mix, then highlighted with straight Rhinox Hide and then Mournfang Brown. Here I added tiny highlights to the very corners with XV88. The skin was a base of Castellan Green. This was then built up with successive layers of Castellan Green mixed with Deathworld Forest, then eventually pure Deathworld Forest. I used Ogryn Camo to apply fine highlights. The eyes were painted very carefully with Evil Sunz Scarlet. A single dot in each eye is enough to create the effect I wanted. Next I painted the hair dark grey. Eshin Grey will do. I then pick out individual hairs with Dawnstone Grey. I add white to the Dawnstone Grey mix and use this to add very fine highlights to the hair. Fur areas are wet blended by painting Mournfang Brown. Then, before it dries, quickly blending a 50-50 mix of Mournfang Brown and XV88, followed by pure XV88 onto all the raised sections. The wood of the shield, along with any other areas of wood such as bows and spears, is painted with Dryad Bark. I then highlight the details with Gorthor Brown, followed by Baneblade Brown as a final highlight. None of which you can see because I forgot to hit record. All the dark cloth areas, gloves and boots were based with Eshin Grey. This is then built up with successive layers and highlights by adding a little white. Next it's time for all the metallics. I paint all areas of metal, the armour, weapons and chains with bolt gun metal. Be very careful with this because it's very annoying fixing up overspill on previously painted areas. This particular model has a lot of areas of metal, whereas most of the Mordor Orc minis have mostly leather armour, so do not require as much. Unfortunately I forgot to hit record again to get the fan fave Agrax Earthshade wash. So here I am applying it to another model. This one is an orc converted to carry a Moria Goblin shield and with the warrior of Minas Tirith's right arm. The point is to wash over all the metallic areas with Agrax Earthshade and let it pool into the recesses. This helps add depth and a level of griminess to the orcs. Depending on how many you're painting, you could then go and edge highlight with a brighter metallic such as chainmail or Vallejo's aluminium. Some orcs have what looks like a scaly hide. I paint these with a 50-50 mix of Eshin Grey and Bugman's Glow. Then I pick out the scales with pure Bugman's Glow, followed by carefully adding tiny dots of Cadian flesh tone. And here's the finished product. The red works really well on Mordor Orcs as it adds a bright spot colour to contrast with the other darker and more muted tones that makes up the majority of the minis. This helps them really pop on the battlefield. I managed to smash out about 20 of these guys in a week, so it shouldn't take long to get a glorious orc horde ready to destroy the world of men. Thanks for watching and good hobbying, guys.